This problem is negative 3x squared plus 4x minus 9 equals 0. What is the first thing that I should do on this problem, Darnell? What is the first thing I should do on this problem, Hughes? What's the first thing I should do, Sprague? Yeah, negative 4, we can do that. Plus or minus what? And all of that is over what? Yeah, it would be 2 times negative 3, which will eventually be negative 6. Yeah, she's right. So that's the whole first step. Now I have a negative 4 that's going to stay the same, plus or minus. What is 4 squared, Salyers?
16.
16. So we have 16. What will the sign be here? Will it be plus or minus? That goes to Johnson. It will be minus, that's right, because we have 1, 2, 3 of these signs, an odd number, so it's minus. What number goes here in this spot? That goes to McDane. 108, yes. And on the bottom we already said it's negative 6. What is the solution to this problem, Ruark? Of negative 92? Well, she is right. I mean, that is what we're supposed to do. Negative 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 92 over negative 6. So we'll give her the point for that. But my question will still be the same. What is the solution for this equation, Holiday? There is no solution. That is right. Why is there no solution, Sprague? 92 is not a perfect square. That's a true statement, but not the answer to the question. Why is this problem no solution, Salyers? Why is this problem no solution, McDane? Yes, if you have a negative number under the square root sign as your final sum or difference under the square root sign, then the answer is going to be no solution. This problem is 4x squared plus 11x plus 7 equals 0. Your first move on this is negative 11 plus or minus the square root of 11 squared minus 4 times 7. All of that is going to be over 2 times 4. Now to start simplifying, negative 11 plus or minus the square root of 112. And 112, you're going to subtract from that the same as 16 times 7, which is 112. Or 121. We're taking 121 minus 112. And under the square root sign, that simplifies to a 9, which is really neat, because now we will have negative 11 plus or minus 3 over 8. And we must do negative 11 plus 3 over 8, negative 11 minus 3 over 8. So this is a negative 8 over 8, and on the right side a negative 14 over 8. So you'll have negative 1 or negative 1.8 when you round to the tenths place. This problem is 2x squared plus 12x plus 5 equals 0. You're going to have negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 12 squared minus 4 times 2 times 5. All of that's going to be over 2 times 2. So now it's going to be negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 144 minus 40 over 4. And then under the square root sign we're going to end up with a 104, which is not a perfect square. So that means we need to do negative 12 plus the square root of 104 over 4 and negative 12 minus the square root of 104 over 4. In your calculator you should do it like this. Negative 12 plus the square root of 104 and hit equals. Then hit division by 4 and come up with a negative 0.5 rounded to the tenths place. Then do negative 12 minus the square root of 104, hit equals, and then divide by 4 to get a negative 5.5 rounded to the tenths place. This problem is x squared plus 15x plus 14 equals 0. For the problem, we have a negative 15 plus or minus the square root of 15 squared minus 4 times 1 times 14. All of this is over 2 times 1. Negative 15 plus or minus the square root of 225 minus 56 and then over 2. We have to simplify the 225 minus 56. So when we get to that point, we're going to have a 169, which works out really neat because that is a perfect square. The square root of 169 is 13. So now we have to do negative 15 plus 13 over 2, negative 15 minus 13 over 2. That's a negative 2 over 2 and a negative 28 over 2, which will give you answers of negative 1 or negative 14.